My goal with my clients is I want them to be so strong and have good technique that they're the person in the gym that people are like, hey, can I ask you a question? If you have questions, please feel free to email us podcast@verse.fit. Otherwise, you can comment below or just like our podcast. Yeah. Well, and you said it right where it's coaching. And if I wanted to learn MMA, I could go learn from John Jones, one of the greatest of all time, right?
Right.
That's a highly qualified person to teach me. But that dude has coaches, and he's maybe one of the greatest that's ever done it. But he still has coaches. So even if you're advanced, there's benefit, and the benefit changes where, now you generally know what you're doing, but it's always good to have another pair of eyes to watch and make sure you're not missing this one thing or that thing. And really, at a certain level, it becomes someone that's going to make sure you do the stuff you don't want to do. You know, like if the whole key to getting better is to make sure you're shoring up your weaknesses, most people have a tendency not to do that. They want to train their strengths. And a coach is going to go, nah, we're going to train that weakness and we're going to train it hard. And that's really where that main benefit comes in. But needing them to teach you how to do simple stuff and get that bodily autonomy, you've gone beyond that. But there's still benefit to be had. You know,
I think especially when you're training for something like MMA, or if you're an athlete, this is your job, your career, the thing that is your bread and butter, like bodybuilding, MMA, football, like all of that, you're forever going to need a coach. That's just how the cookie crumbles. At a certain point, you think, I don't need a coach anymore. And if you're an MMA fighter and you get kicked in the face and you're like, why? It's like, well, you didn't have someone who told you that every time a foot comes to your right side, you freeze up and you can't see it out of your peripheral because maybe you have a nerve issue there and like you don't have quick, fast response time, or maybe you took a hit once and it's not quick enough for that stuff.
Yeah. There's nothing more concrete than a combat sport, right? Like, did my training work? I don't know. I got kicked in the head this time and that didn't feel great. It's not quite as cut and dry with something like lifting weights. Although I don't really want to get kicked in the head, so maybe it is not unfortunate.
I took enough concussions from football. I wouldn't say it too many. I think there was one specifically I remember where I hit the guy. I was a left guard, and I was like pretty strong and like quick as a lineman. We did a lot of screen plays, and I have a picture of this, and I forget the exact school. I think it was like McKinney North. We did a screen to our outside wide receiver. So as soon as the ball hikes, I have to come out and then I have to go all the way to the sideline. By the time the quarterback throws the ball and the receiver catches it, I'm right there in front of him.
Right.
I remember getting out and running, and I saw the corner literally, and there's a picture of this, has his hand on our receiver as soon as the receiver catches the ball. And then there's another picture after of him just leveled, like horizontal. There's air under his back. Nothing's touched the ground yet, I think, except maybe an elbow. I'm right there with my hand on the receiver. And I remember tasting metal because I used to lead with my head. And again, it's one of those things. My coach was like, stop hitting with your head because you're going to hurt yourself.
Yeah.
He's like, you're going to break your neck. You're going to get a concussion. He's like, if you're going to hit somebody, hit with your shoulder, wrap up, go for the legs. You don't have to go for the head every time. You're a big dude, but that doesn't mean you got to go head up with everybody, Because, I remember I was like, that was definitely a concussion there. But that's where it's important to have coaches is tell you, like, because where I came from before, that's all we did. It was like helmet to helmets all the time.
Yeah.
But
well, and that's something that's changed within the sport of football, right? Like if you talk to people who are old enough, my dad, for example, that's how they taught you. They're like, drive that head in, get in there, lead with the head, spike them, And that's not around anymore. So thankfully that's advanced as well. I didn't really play contact sports, but I've definitely had my fair share of concussions from mostly being stupid,
I've been there,
falling or getting hit with various things, balls and baseball bats and whatnot. Probably, I don't know if I got a concussion for this, but I knocked myself out in the gym one time when I was first trying to learn how to do the Olympic lifts, like years and years ago. I'm in the gym and I do a clean. It's not heavyweight at the time. I was maybe 135. I don't know. But I do the clean. I stand up with it. I'm getting ready to do the jerk. And I do the jerk. I didn't get my head out of the way. So the bar just went and like hit my, I kind of did that. And I fell back. Boom. Passed out. Throw the weight forward, fortunately. But I passed out. Kind of came to, bleeding. Oof. I had the knurling on the bar and like scuffed up my chin and stuff. That's probably like the worst gym accident I've ever had. And I'm sure it wasn't good for my brain to have high velocity barbell smashing into it.
Oh, yeah. I've seen a guy trying to that activated a memory, and I was trying to reach it, but I remember someone doing a clean and then it hitting them right on the chin. They didn't pass out, but it was just like the teeth clacked. Like luckily they didn't break a tooth. I don't think it was heavyweight, but it was high school. I think the worst thing that's happened to me in a gym is this guy dropped a 70-pound dumbbell on my big toe. So much so that it just like after a while it just came off. I had a regrowth in my toenail.
Dang, did it break?
No,
wow.
Which is crazy.
Yeah.
It just, the toenail got like, it like partially came off. I mean, it hurt, but it was more of like that peeling from the toe to the skin was just gnarly. But I've been very fortunate in the gym, which is crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I've had random gym incidents, nothing. There was one time, it's like very random stuff that happened. I was doing box jumps.
Oh, yeah.
And I was prepping, and I was too close to a skier, and I hit the back of my wrist on the skier, and it punctured it, and then it just starts bleeding a little bit. And then I was like, oh. And then I started getting this nerve pain up my arm. And then one time I was training a client in boxing, and I stepped wrong, and my meniscus flipped, and then my leg got locked. So I just went home and like laid on my stomach and used my other leg to pop it back in.
Yeah.
It was just like random stuff.
Yeah. I've had a little bit of soft tissue stuff here and there, but nothing major. The worst gym injury for sure, I broke my right thumb. I was doing snatches and I was pretty close to the squat rack in hindsight. And the snatch got a little bit in front of me. Instead of just letting it fall, I tried to save it, so I kind of like stepped forward. But what happened is I stepped forward and then the bar hit the rack and it came down and my thumb was on the J hook and the bar landed on my thumb sandwiched between the J hook. It took off like all the skin here and broke down here, but fortunately it was not the scaphoid bone, and the scaphoid bone it's a hollow bone, so it doesn't get blood flow. And if you break that, you have to get surgery. Fortunately, it wasn't that one that broke, so I didn't need surgery or anything, but I couldn't use my thumb for close to 2 months, really. It makes you appreciate how important our thumbs are. I couldn't tie my shoes. I'm all like trying to, I felt so helpless. I couldn't do anything without my thumb. And I'm right-handed, and it was on my right hand, so it was...
man.
In terms of actual damage, it wasn't that bad, but in terms of life inconvenience, it was the worst I've ever done, for sure. I mean, the toe thing, I can't tell you how many times I've seen people drop weights on their toes and mess their toes up. It's more common than it should be. More common than...
Yeah, I'm like, it's that thing that it drives me crazy because I used to do it in high school. And I'm talking about a random thing that you learn when you were younger.
Yeah.
It was like, dropping weights was a cool thing to do after a set, especially after a heavy set.
Yeah.
Oh, man, I can't stand it. It drives me insane.
Oh, yeah, I'm right there.
It's like if you can't put the weight down gently, if it's that bad to where you need to drop it, then just don't do the weight.
Yeah.
Like, it drives me insane. And then people get up and they're like grunting. I'm like, but you just basically disturbed everybody in the gym. And also it's dangerous. Like that's a moment in time, or that's a very brief moment where when you slam that heavy weight, if you are out of alignment in any way, you could dislocate, tear, rotator cuff, all of it. That little egotistical moment could cost you like 2 months of not being able to work out.
Oh, yeah. I mean, people don't think of it like that, but it's a great point because if you have a 100-pound dumbbell or something and you want to go and just bam, like you're probably not curling 100-pound dumbbells, but all of a sudden you're going to do a fast eccentric load on your bicep with that 100 pounds. That's a really great way to tear your bicep. And that's a gnarly injury. I've seen some bicep tears and it's messed up. It's not something anyone should ever have to go through if they can at all avoid it.
Yeah. And it's hard to recover from that too. I've seen it too. And it's like a forever thing. You tear that, it's like a hamstring.
Yep.
Buddy, your mobility is going to be rough for a long time.
Yeah. I worked out at this Gold's Gym in Long Beach around 2000. There was this dude who would come in and he was dressed like kind of Macho Man Randy Savage. He'd have this bandana, big old sunglasses, what do they call them?
Oh, yeah, the ski glasses?
Yeah. And stringer tee, fanny pack, just super 80s kind of throwback style. And he would come in with these two ladies. And I never actually saw them work out. They were just like cheerleaders or something, but they'd be wearing leotards and, they'd be like cheering him on and stuff. And one day he's doing shrugs out of the rack and he comes in, he does some stuff over by the cables. He comes over to the rack and he just starts loading plates on. No progressive warm-up, and he just starts loading plates on. He's got like 7 or 8 plates on each side. He's got his belt on, old school bodybuilding belt with the really big back, thin leather. He's got straps and gloves on and everything. This dude's ready to go. He straps into the weight, and he kind of lifts it off the pins, takes one step back, barely shrugs it, and as his shoulders come down, he just crumples. It's just like, bam, pulls him to the ground. And it was obviously way too heavy and stuff. And he is just bent over double. His back is so jacked up. And the ladies running out, oh my God, baby, are you okay? What's going on? What happened? And he walks out of there like bent over, holding his back. He just had to leave the weights there and everything. And I was like, man, it was so funny in the moment. I'm sure like that dude's back was a mess. He messed himself up really bad. And like, I don't wish that on anybody, but I mean, you did that to yourself, dude. What are you doing? And that's so many injuries I see in the gym. It's like, this was wholly avoidable if you'd
100%.
been a little bit smart about it. And sometimes I can't help but laugh at that because it's like, man, you're really reaping what you sowed here.
I mean, it's funny. Like, I feel bad for the guy, but also I'm like, you got to take your ego out of it. Yeah. Like, I would never, okay, let me not say that, because there have been moments I've no warm up did a 400-pound deadlift.
Sure.
Would I do that now? No, absolutely not. I would never. There's no reason for me to, unless it's like me needing to pick up a person who's 400 pounds and try to save their life, but which is going to be real difficult. But it's like there's no reason for it, and it's like you're asking for attention. Your need for attention is asking for getting hurt. Like, or your need to feel that you're the strongest person in the room is just asking for you to get hurt. If you're not going to go into a workout like that and not warm up, not do other movement preps, not, stretch, and like, if you're watching that, you're like, oh, he's going to hurt himself. I see it all the time. I used to see it all the time, especially at Equinox. I would watch people come in, like, doing workouts, and I'm like, oh, they're going to hurt themselves. And maybe they didn't that day, but it's funny, there have been a couple guys I've gone up to, and I'm like, hey, we talked about doing the EqualFit. I saw you working out recently, but I haven't seen you in a while. What's going on? Oh, yeah, I sort of tore my rotator cuff. So I've just been taking a break, not being able to work out. Or, oh, yeah, I pulled something in my lower back, and I'm just doing mostly small leg workouts because I can't really do it. I hurt my neck. I just feel this pain. And every single time I'm like, all right, let me check, see what, oh yeah, you have not here, it's possibly a tear, like, or, oh, if you hurt your back, I remember you doing this workout. Oh, it's probably because you're not warming up. Try this. Maybe here, let me give you this band. Let me show you how to sort of stress that. You're going to go lift. I'm going to tell you not to do that. I see so many guys ego lift in a world where It's either no one told you that was going to hurt you, or you just don't believe it.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're going to have to find out.
Yeah. Find out the hard way.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true. One of the questions we got that I thought was kind of funny, it's silly, but would you rather be able to only do leg days or skip leg days entirely?
Only do leg days.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, me too. Good. That's the right answer.
Yeah.
And everyone else is wrong.
Yeah. Everything else is wrong.
Yeah.
If you think the other, then you're wrong.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would rather. Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, no. Go ahead.
No, I actually do that. I make sure I do legs. If I don't work out any other part of my body, I do legs.
Yeah.
Whether that's going to the gym or whether that's doing body weight. The blood flow that I feel, the strength that I get, even when I'm outside running from doing legs, is I don't care about my upper body. I'll do push-ups if I need to, but I think I have enough that I'm okay with losing a little bit of it.
Yeah.
But legs?
Oh, yeah. That's where it's at. I mean, pretty much every day is already leg day to an extent for me. Like, even if I'm doing upper body stuff, I'm going to throw some legs in between. I'll do like extra hamstring curls or split squats or something in between sets because you can. Why not?
Yeah.
Make them stronger.
It's your foundation. It's literally like standing on a wooden deck and someone taking out the legs. Like if a wave comes in and it just takes out the legs of a deck, that deck's going to fall. It's the integrity of your body and foundation. Like, how often do people get leg injuries and they're immobile, they can't do anything? And it's like, oh, yeah, I will do legs every day if I could.
We're going to put that on a shirt. Every day is leg day.
Every day is leg.
And then the last question, and then we can wrap up because I don't want to take up too much of your time. I thought this one was interesting and maybe relevant for your upcoming tour and stuff. But how would you design a 10-minute full body workout? It could be like, is it one exercise or what are the sets and reps? Like, give me some details. How would you design that for somebody?
I love that. It's actually kind of what I do now. So a full body workout. So I would do Tabata, which I love. I use Tabata a lot. Typically I do 30 seconds on with 15-second break, 4 exercises for 4 rounds. But if it was that, I would switch it up. I would say, instead of doing 4 exercises, I would implement 8, which would be body squats, push-ups, Supermans, and bench dips. The other one would be burpees, a box tap, or if you have a set of stairs, taps, jump rope, and shoulder taps. So it would be 8 total workouts, doing each workout twice. Each
30
workout
seconds
gets
each.
2 rounds. Yeah. So it usually rounds out to about 12, but if we were sticking with the 10, I would just take off. It would be a 20-second with like a 10-second break, or I just take away the breaks. Yeah, actually. So then it would just be do 10-second breaks, 30 seconds on, 10 seconds off. That would be like a full body, high intensity. You do as many reps as you can. You do that every day, you'll be solid.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that'll build muscle, that'll build conditioning. There's nothing that's not getting worked there. Yeah, that's a great system. I like doing time stuff like that as well. Obviously circuiting it up, saying, okay, here's this exercise, 30 seconds a minute, whatever the case. Do as many reps as you can, move on to the next one, as many reps as you can. Maybe it's 10 exercises of a minute each, or maybe it's 5 exercises of 30 seconds each, or whatever. That's a great system. I also really like, if you are proficient in certain, either with a barbell or dumbbell or something, you can do complexes, which it's kind of a similar circuit training concept.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
A series of exercises right in a row with the same implement. So if this would be a barbell, you could do something like, it's all with the same weight, so they are somewhat seamless. You do like, okay, 8 deadlifts, 8 bent over rows, 8 power cleans, 8 front squats, 8 overhead presses, 8 back squats. Rest, whatever, 30 seconds, a minute, repeat as many. Try to get as many rounds of that as you can in 10 minutes is a good one. I also really like, if you are comfortable with kettlebell stuff, this is something I used to do to condition for Muay Thai, is I would do 4 burpees. Then with 2 kettlebells, I would do 2 kettlebell cleans, 1 press, and 3 front squats, which is a variation of what's called the armor building complex that Danezion, who's a coach in the industry, has talked about. And you try to do as many rounds of that in the time period as you can. So in 10 minutes, maybe you try to get, in the beginning, 10 rounds, so 1 round a minute. And by the time you've done it over the course of a number of weeks, maybe you're trying to do 20, 30 rounds in 10 minutes. And my goal, because it was Muay Thai, so these are 3-minute rounds, my goal was to try to get at least 10 rounds in 3 minutes. And that starts to add up, because that's 40 burpees in 3 minutes. That's 20 cleans, 10 presses, 30 squats, like kettlebell front squats in 3 minutes, so depending on the density of it, man, it's a huge output of work, and it works pretty much every muscle in your body, and your heart is just racing a mile a minute. So it's very similar kind of concepts. I think that's probably, if you're going full body, that's probably the only way to do it.
I think so too. It's because what you're saying is like that being under load, that's even more intense. That'll help not just build lean muscle, but build muscle also. Like difference between cutting and like hypertrophy and all of that, muscle building. Well, also nutrition has a play in that, but are you a CrossFitter? Is that?
No, I never really got into that.
All right. I didn't want to insult you, but it's like a version of that in a healthy way. Because CrossFitters, I love the concept of the way that they work out. It's the rate in which they do it that I think causes the most injuries, versus what you're saying is there's a specific time, how many reps you're going to try to get. And it's a short period of time, but you at least know, like, okay, by the time I do this, I'll be at 40 versus like, and there's technique to it. It's nothing too crazy. It's not throwing your body over, trying to do a muscle up or like really like it's more controlled.
I mean, that's my biggest gripe with a lot of the CrossFit stuff is they're taking very advanced movements and putting them, having them done under a lot of fatigue, which is not really how those movements are supposed to be done. They're highly technical, and maybe the people doing them haven't really mastered that technical aspect of it. So if you can find a way to do it that doesn't take a lot of technique, a kettlebell clean, that's pretty easy. It's not like a barbell clean. There's not nearly as much technique. Those kinds of push-ups, bodyweight squats, lunges, whatever, those are fairly straightforward technical movements. Like, it's not a snatch or a clean and jerk or a muscle up or a Turkish get up or any of these kinds of things that don't lend themselves to high reps and high fatigue. So you could say, do some crazy CrossFit WOD for 10 minutes, but I don't know that the risk to benefit ratio is quite there, in my opinion. And I don't want to knock CrossFit. I think CrossFit's done a lot of good for the community aspect of fitness and getting people interested in strength training that maybe otherwise wouldn't. But I don't know. There's just a lot of issues there, in my opinion.
I did it once. I never wanted to do it again. There could be a play to be made. Oh, well, you just don't have the grit to do it. And it's like, well, I don't, because I don't want to hurt myself. Like I really like in this, like you said, I'm not knocking CrossFit at all. I think they've done some amazing things, and they've done some incredible community building, and so many people have gone to fitness because of that, because of the community. I just wish they did a better job at creating a little more technique with the people who do it, because I've seen so many injuries. But the bodies that they cultivate throughout that, like the way that people look, it's a great look.
They look great.
If you want that lean muscle, like, absolutely. But they're great. They do a good job.
Well, that's a great answer. So before we wrap up, go ahead and tell people where they can reach you or plug anything you want to plug.
So you can reach me at DANEZION Meals52 on Instagram. I also have a podcast for indie feature films that me and some of my friends do. They're indie films, like a feature or short film where we review them. Our reviews are a little, intense, but we talk about the industry. We talk about things we've experienced, and we also see where those directors or writers could have gone, what we appreciated, just as audience members, we by no means, like, we are professionals, but we aren't making $1 million budget movies. So you take our word with a grain of salt. But it's a fun thing. It's called Indie Unfiltered Podcast on Instagram and on YouTube. I think we have about 4 episodes up. So go and check that out. On my Instagram, you'll be able to follow my journey throughout the Tina Turner tour. I'm going to be understudying Ike. It's the North American tour, which will be back home at the last week of the tour from April 14th through the 19th. So if you're one of my friends out in LA, or if you're in LA and you want to come and see the show, please pull up. I would love to have a homecoming with y'all at the end of that. But yeah, that's where you can find me. Thank you so much. This is always dope. I love talking about fitness and just sort of like kind of saying things that might be a little controversial to what people may feel in the fitness industry.
That's what makes it interesting.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for your time,
appreciate
Danezion.
you.
And we'll probably do this again,
yeah.
I'm sure.
Let's do it. Yeah,
right.
Absolutely.
Thank you for listening to the Verse Fitness Podcast. I've been your host, Shane Robert. If you want to find out more about Verse, you can check us out at verse.fit. Or if you have any questions, you can email them to podcast@verse.fit. We love to do Q&A episodes. If you have any general comments, feel free to leave them in the area below, or like, view, and subscribe.